Hey everybody, it's Jacki Jing, and welcome to the Jing and Dynasty podcast. I know, it's been a long time. Please, don't get mad at me. It's just been a while, I know. But I am starting to try to get things rolling again and working on reformatting everything and possibly, getting co-hosts, doing guests, etc., etc. But for now, I just wanted to update y'all on my life and just say hi because it's been a while. It's been like, probably a month since I've updated the podcast. It's been a bit of time. So anyway, Cece's leaving.
Aww.
Super depressing. Cece was my roommate for a whole, 6 months. And, some people are leaving the chat. Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
But, yeah, I'm super sad to see her go. But I think it's, kind of interesting because we're parting ways. And I think that we've both developed a lot as people.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wanted to do a podcast episode about my hypnotherapy, which is wild, right? I think that I'm pretty candid and open about this, but I think therapy is super important, and I go to see a therapist once a week. And Cece and I have talked about this a lot. Our culture is very against I hate to say against mental health, but it's just not
They don't think it is. I guess they don't put importance on it. They don't think it's actually real. I've heard people say, depression is just as a result of poor eating, choices, and
low key, I do think I get angry a lot more when I'm hungry. So that is a poor eating choice might lead to anger. But anyway, yes, continue.
But, yeah, and just habits, and as opposed to it's it's an illness, it's a issue,
Yeah, I mean,
it's just the choices you make and the thoughts, you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be sad, not choose happiness but thoughts, right? Positive thoughts.
But I mean, that I think it's even, I don't even think it's that. I think that Chinese people, a lot of minority cultures, it's they just repress emotions. They're we don't want to deal with it, we don't want to hear it, and so for me, I had to realize that I needed to speak my truth, that I was repressing all my feelings, trying to make other people happy. You know what I mean? Whether it was dating guys or at work or with friends, I was always repressing how I felt to make other people happy. Thank you for the sub, Walk197. Appreciate it. Y'all drop a sub if you can. And I think Cece and I are both like that. We're both people pleasers and we don't speak our truth a lot. And that repression's super scary, it will manifest itself in different ways. And so I think for me, I went through hypnotherapy recently and it was wild. And Cece at first didn't want me to go.
Just the thought of hypnosis, is out there. I don't know.
She was like, are you going to be the same after you do it? I was
well,
I hope so.
Because hypnosis is you've seen, TV shows and whatever movies, it's literally you're under someone's control.
So it's interesting. It's not like that. It's it basically brings you to a state where you're super relaxed and you're super transparent and honest. You know what I mean? It's you're not, you're just, your mind is completely clear and free and you're saying exactly how you feel about things. That's what it's like. But it was wild because she literally was put your hand on the table, and I did, and then she tapped my hand and I was literally hypnotized. And I literally was I can't open my mouth. And I was I want to tell her something. I want to talk to her, but I can't open my mouth. And she was okay, you're under hypnosis now. And, was walking me through these steps. And I was just talking to me about rewiring your brain and operating systems and patterns and how you have to go back to that moment and relive it and understand that you're not a part of that moment anymore, or that you're safe, that you're okay, and so it was crazy. I was just listening to her and I could not open my mouth, and I was oh my gosh, I'm hypnotized right now, right? And so then she told me to like go up these stairs and then and then to go down these stairs, and then I saw a hallway, and then she told me to go into a room. And when I went into the room, I saw like one of the darkest, like hardest memories of my life. And literally when she was like, what do you see? You're so like clear and transparent. And I was like, oh, I don't like this memory. That's what I said. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, I don't like this memory, you know? And then like we went through the memory, and I told Cece like about it, you know, it's like a pretty like dark memory from my past that I'm like not super comfortable sharing with everyone right now. But like she just rewired the way I thought about it. Like I used to think that like I had this person who hated me so much, and then I realized that they actually loved me. And then I had like created this idea in my head, and like from that experience, I had created my identity of being like worthless and an awful person and unlovable and all this stuff from that one bad memory, you know? And then the whole memory was relived, and I just looked at it from different perspectives through the hypnotherapy, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like I've been the one victimizing myself and making me think that I was these ways. It's been me. Like I looked at that situation, and it was me that was keeping myself in this negative thought process, you know? So then after we had like reasoned through it, then she was like, okay, leave the room and go to down the hallway to like the last door, and there's a guard in there. And then she was like, what do you see, you know? And I saw Ian. And I told her, I was like, I see Ian. And she was like, what is he doing? I'm like, he's, you know, playing in the field, you know, and I was like, and he's flying a kite. And she was like, what's the color of the kite? And I was like, it's like red, and it had blue and green streamers, you know? And she was like, this is your happy place. And she's like, you can come here anytime, you know? And I literally, when I'm starting to get stressed out, I literally like count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just go to my happy place now. And it helps me to de-stress, you know? So, I don't know. I really wanted to share that experience, because I think that like, you know, for me, my self, what do you even call it? My self-discovery, my journey of self-discovery has been, you know, going through a lot of different processes of trying to heal, you know? So I've done a lot of talk therapy. I've read a shit ton of books, and I'll be honest, the books have helped the most. But this hypnotherapy, like there's a lot of different options. Like this book I read, they said that there's EMDR and hypnotherapy and all these different types of therapy out now that like really take you to those specific traumatic moments and help you rewire them. So you can see what they were really like, and you can actually like move on from that trauma and that memory, you know? So I just wanted to speak from my experience that like it was life-changing. And I've talked to some people who are in this chat, and they've told me about traumatic moments that like are relived in their head. And I'm like, you know, if you can find a good therapist who does EMDR or hypnotherapy, whatever, like it definitely worked for me. So Cece has never been to a therapist before, and she thinks like most of this stuff is nonsense.
Not nonsense as much as like I feel like there's things that we can do to not get ourselves in those dark places. And I guess,
but I think like
I've always been,
since we've been friends, I've seen both you and I be in dark places.
Yeah.
It happens. We're human.
Right.
It's just about like finding ways to be there less.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like rewiring those traumatic moments so you can be there less. I think is great. Mm-hmm. But you also need to figure out what works for you. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the other thing. Like, I don't, like, a lot of the books I read, they actually say, like, talk therapy is not great for you because you're, like, reliving that trauma over and over again and you're not rewiring it, you know? Mm-hmm. But for me, talk therapy has been super helpful in the sense that it helped me, my therapist, her name is Dr. Natasha Nelson, and she taught me, like, how to change the patterns in my life to healthy routines and patterns, and how, like, small promises, keeping those small promises, like making my bed and putting the dishes in the sink and being a parent to myself, being the parent to myself that I always needed, is like a great way to take care of yourself. And Cece, we were talking about this tonight. Like, you were talking about how you were starting to take care of yourself now, and it does feel good.
Mm-hmm. You want more? No, like, I guess just doing things that make me happy. Before I would be like, oh, it costs too much. Like, I didn't go to my first concert till 2018. I didn't go to my first con till 2018. So, and then I went to my first con after I went to my first concert and realized, oh, this is fun. Like, before then I would be like, this is a waste of money. I could just watch a concert on TV, right? Or like, wait for it to be wherever, like on DVD or, and now it's like, it's actually a good time. Like, I could treat myself, I guess.
That's important, though. It's like, it depends on how you're raised, but it's like, you need to love yourself. If you don't love yourself and take care of yourself and like heal and do these things, like, you're always just going to feel like shit about yourself, Like, it's important to do nice things about yourself so you feel good about yourself.
And I think that's why it fulfills me so much more when I help others and when I give to others, because outside of that, I don't feel great. Not that I feel bad about myself, but like, I don't see my worth, or I guess my purpose in life, so to speak, with outside of helping someone or giving to someone, or, because I feel outside of being productive, outside, if that makes sense.
No, it 100% makes sense. It's like, dude, Cece works, and does not take care of herself. And I always tell her, like, if you just give and give and give, like, you're going to die. Like, you're giving your energy to everyone. Like, you're not, like, keeping energy for yourself. And she definitely needs to continue to work on that. But it does make me happy that she's keeping more energy for herself. And honestly, I'm super proud of Cece, because, like, for Cece and I, we have been serving others and trying so hard to make other people happy that we've become so disconnected from ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so I think for the first time, you and I are actually like doing things that we want to do, Right. Yeah. And for me, like, straight up, like, I've always been like boy crazy, just like love going on dates and like meeting guys. And now I just don't have anything to do with that. Like, I'm over it and done. And it's because, like, before I thought I needed like a partner to complete me. And now I'm like, I'm good. I got my condo. I got my dream house. I got my dream car. I have a great job. I have like friends and family in my life who are amazing. And I love myself. I love myself for the first time in my entire life. And I actually think that last one is the most important one, because I always had everything else checked, right? Great friends and family, good job, condo, car, clothes, video game stuff, anime stuff. Like, everything was there. But then when it came to me, there was a giant gap. And through the hypnotherapy and the therapy, I just realized, like, I'm already whole and so lovable and great. It's hard to say I'm great. Like, I love myself. Like, it's like we've been taught not to be like that. But it's not like, I love myself. Like, not in a cocky way. It's like, I'm loving to myself. Like, just like you're getting pedicures now and you're taking care of your appearance a little bit better. When I met Cece, she would wear like baggy basketball shorts and stuff, and then she never used a razor in her life, like now she takes care of her eyebrows and stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't got a unibrow right now. You're looking great. But yeah. Oh, we have a lot of trolling on YouTube. That's okay, whatever. YouTube, stop. But
YouTube, stop.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm proud of Cece and myself. We're doing awesome, so yay. What do you think about your whole journey? Like, I feel like it's kind of crazy. So Cece moved here, and I was going through a rough time, I think, before you got out here. But I think you really came out here, and then I was like really hitting therapy hard and really like reading a lot of books. And trying really hard to be the best version of myself. I think like I've changed so much in that short period of time, but I think that you've changed a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely been a growing, and learning process. I mean, it's my first time living, basically miles away from home. But yeah. More independence. Oh yes, Beyblade is.
We blocked him.
We blocked the guy.
There was a guy. Oops, sorry. There was a guy on YouTube. It happens. Okay, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I just want to encourage people to definitely like do self-work. Another thing that I realized too is that like for a long time I like repressed my anger. I like held my anger in because I thought like expressing my anger was a bad thing. But actually like your anger or anxiety or any of those feelings, they're actually like a radar. You know what I mean? Like it's actually like a missile's coming at you, and the radar's going off. And so it's like it's just like you sensing something is not right. It's not bad to be angry. It's not bad to be sad. It's not bad to, have anxiety. These are just your radar going off about something. You know what I mean? And like, I think for so long we've been like, oh, I have so much anxiety, or like, oh my gosh, I'm so angry. And it's really like you're having a reaction to something, Okay, let's do a perfect example. Yesterday, Cece closed the fridge door. Oh my God. And a wine bottle fell over, rolled off the side of the fridge and slammed into my stove and shattered the glass stovetop, Totally, it's an accident. Mm-hmm. It was an accident. If I had done it, it would have been me. You know what I mean?
I mean, the fridge, I'm weak, I'm little.
There's no way.
The fridge is big, heavy, it's like...
But regardless...
What happened? Yeah.
Obviously, I was upset, right? Because my oven's ruined. And so, like, I was just like, old Jacki would have been like, what the... It flipped out, right? I think most people would have been like, are you joking me? Like, my nice new stove in my new condo is broken, right? Glass stove is broken. And I just was like quiet and I just took some deep breaths and I was like, Cece, can you just like give me space for a second, right? And so she just gave me space for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And I just sat there and I was just kind of like, I didn't like scream or punch a pillow or anything. I just was like, okay, we got an issue. You know what I mean? And I was like, what do I need to do to like solve the issue? And I was like, there's like no reason to get mad. And it was crazy. And it went away. And I think I was shocked because like usually I get so mad about things and then I get like so elevated and then I'm like sitting there trying to de-escalate. And it was like, I just didn't even let myself get to that level, So it's just like, I just am shocked at like, people think that this stuff is BS, but it's like you really can change your thoughts. You can change your thought processes. You can change your patterns and you can become an amazing human, And so the human that you want to be, the best version of yourself, you can be better, I think like Cece and I both realized that. Mm-hmm. And we both got some work to do still. Mm-hmm. What are you laughing about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
work.
What? Ow.
To do.
All right. On that note, we will wrap up the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to Jing Dynasty. It's been so long. Again, I'm trying to rework some things and get some stuff sorted, but we will do that soon. But for now, thank you so much for joining us. This is my last in-person podcast with Cece. So, but love you.